Hi folks, it's time for the semi-finals in the battle for the Seven Kingdoms. We have 4 teams left standing, including the Proudwing Kings, who play against Stark this time, against this team at the top. A moose once bit my sister, and we have 3 pairings. We're going to see the first one today. So we have Urs against Saraaa, we have Jakob against me, and we have Johan against James Waumsley. That's the one we'll be watching, and it's going to be Stark Valyrian Steel against Baratheon Fealty. With me once again is Saraaa. Hello, Saraaa.
Hello.
So we have this Valyrian Steel deck that actually has been playing remarkably well. I've caught a couple of games in previous rounds, and it's about what you would expect. So a huge attachments package. Comes with 75 cards, of course, which has its disadvantages. Much more difficult to find duplicates, and this deck does play its own copy of Valar Morghulis, and James plays it as well, so this could be an interesting mini game in this particular game. And we have locations, just the econ, no events in the deck, and the character set is basically the good stuff Stark with Robb, Wyman, Eddard, and so on. Also 3 copies of Last Heard Scouts, which will do nothing, and nothing really that
They can
unusual.
deal the cat.
Yes, I guess so. And Mira, if she comes in.
Yeah, their own Mira. So they have She-Bear from the that pod with Elisane and Septa, and I'm assuming so they can also marshal some of the big attachments, like Shaggy Dog is 3 cost, and there's the 3 cost Gravin that you usually want to fetch with Time for Wolves. And you also have Eyes, but I think the 3 cost attachments work better as a surprise anyway, so Shaggy Dog, especially once it's on the board, doesn't do that much, in my
Yes.
experience.
So
People don't usually walk into it.
we'll have some concerns, I guess, whenever Stark has gold left over in the challenger's phase and the faction card still standing. Could be surprise eyes, could be a marriage pack that's annoying. But James Waumsley's deck does have Meister Crescent. I counted 7 condition attachments here that Crescent can get, including the bodyguard, for instance, before a reset, so that could be useful.
Yeah, and I think resets work in our favor. So Waumsley has the Langmecherain attachment. I think. Sorry, does sound work?
You're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah. So what I was saying, yeah, with Valar Morghulis, it's hard to find dupes, and also only one bodyguard exists, right?
Yes.
So I find a strange choice of reset for Stark, but I guess it's been working so far.
Yeah, actually, in some of the games I watched last round, I think it was there was only Morghulis left. It was unrevealed. It was the 7th plot for Stark, just one before revealing his own Morghulis. So I don't know. I actually don't remember that much if Morghulis would have hurt his chances, but yeah, he never played it in that one.
There's some chances to find extra dupes with Bear Island Scouts, and of course Arya comes in duped anyway. Then they do have 3 copies of Recon, which can mess with James's opening, place at the gates in his deck.
Yeah.
And this deck doesn't play at the gates, even though it has the standard 1 Gates of the Moon and 1 Great Hall package that you usually see with decks that play at the gates. Which is strange in the 75 cards deck. You usually see that, but yeah, when I played this deck in some testing, I think the econ can be a bit unreliable. So maybe that can work in James' favor as well.
Yeah, hopefully there won't be recon in setup. It's much more difficult to guarantee, of course, seeing specific cards, except for the Direwolf attachments, which you can fetch with the plot.
Yeah, of course.
2 copies of Seized, not Seized, the Smith, I mean, in the deck, which actually do have potential to cause problems, because we have Summerhall here, and we have Storm's End, of course, yeah.
Yeah, there is one copy of Eldon as well, so maybe that can counter it a bit. And also, I think I would argue if you have traitors, you won't need Storm's End as much, but hopefully that works in our favor.
Yeah, both decks weak on intrigue icons actually.
Mm-hmm.
So James has none, but Stark
Yeah.
doesn't have that many, so it's probably not going to hurt that much. And you could use Storm's End on defense to turn military into power if there's ever a threat, or even if there's a threat of Renown Rush on the military challenge, for instance, Eddard and Rob. With traitors attached, they would then like to switch to the military, right? But with Storm's End, they could not. And yeah, or you could use it offensively, of course, in the mid to late game once you have to swing the power in your favor.
Mm.
Okay, so they
I
are
think they're
starting.
starting now. Yeah.
Here we go. Everyone watching? Hano watching. Let me ask him actually if I don't think he has time actually. He's playing Champions of Westeros in a while.
Okay.
Oh, and I think I need to increase the size of my cards here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very different strategy from the last Stark team I think that we played against, because they have all the like classic Rob decks with Rob and Eddard and just the classic Lords and Ladies package.
Well. Yeah.
Okay, so the Lena setup, that's always nice to see when you play against Stark, or bad to see if you're a Stark player.
But definitely don't want to kill her off.
Yeah.
Even though killing off Eddard would be super tempting on the other side.
Yeah, just opening with Morgulis.
So no recon at least.
Mm-hmm.
So James will search for the Great Hall presumably. And then Bran is already in a position where he doesn't matter in challenges because of the -1. Eddard does, however, so.
Well, doesn't matter on the attacking, because on the defense
Yeah.
it's still alright. I think one of my least favorite thing to play against in Stark is the big army, the Stannis' host. I think we played against it in 8 regions a lot. I think in every deck that the Baratheon team played against us almost was this army. And it messes with so much of them because there's a lot of small ones with one strength all get cancelled away, basically. Oh, and this is very nice start.
Well, it's duped Elena and duped Robert. Now that's tempting to pull the trigger, but you do have to realize that Stark has Morgulis as well, so if you pull the trigger, then they might pull it.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to rush um with the Morgulis, I guess. There's still also ice and stuff like that that can cause problems, so no point as long as you can dominate the board. And I think with Robert and Elena, I think he has to find Graven as soon as possible.
Duped Dicey. Still haven't seen an
Yeah, and it would be
attachment.
nice if it would be nice to spend the 3 gold so you know there is no ice. Mm.
Okay,
Summer.
Summer.
So Summer doesn't help that much. It's a bad attachment, but I think it's there mostly to have an option to take him back to hand for Graven, right?
Yeah.
And by the time that these decks were built, also Graven and Summer character were still podded. So makes sense to have it in this deck. Otherwise, I would still think you'd want to take the character Summer.
Yeah, and we could see actually Johan go for a Time for Wolves early, because now without Rob in play, Robert's ability can actually just lock Eddard, right?
Yeah, but he did keep 2 gold, so what's the thing that we could see for 2 gold? Maybe one of what's the one that puts it to 1 strength in challenges?
Yeah, Strangler.
There's strength and there's Nymeria as well. I think the 2 cost ones.
Well, do you try to do military here? Force both of them. They can defend, that's the thing, so it's not like it's a huge threat.
Yeah, and collect so
But
much
there is no
renown.
claim soak, because now dupes, of course, are not great claim soak with double Morgulis to come eventually in this game.
And what's the situation for defending power? It's alright. And there is some stuff that boosts strength, for example, the lady attachment. And I think ice also gives +2, but there's not enough gold now. Oh, actually, he can also put in play Melnum Stone, that is very good on Eddard.
Yeah, I wouldn't let him stand though against Delena.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And there's no nightmares in this deck.
So Robert,
So he doesn't go
yeah,
with both. So Eddard alone can defend, which wastes his ability, but he can do military back and you have to kill one. Maybe James would be just happy to kill Devon and then lock Eddard from standing.
yeah, looks like that's the plan. And Johan happy to attack military, it seems. He otherwise could have defended with 2, grabbed basically 3 renown from that.
Yeah, and there's no point doing power. You can defend power, you can defend military.
So if you do play Morgulis, let's say you claim Devon, then you play Morgulis. Now with Robert's ability, doesn't seem so great, but hypothetically that also would reduce the AC strength to 1, and then economy for the Valyrian steel, I guess you have the smith for 6 gold plus reduced location, so you should be fine unless your hand is really bad.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is, because otherwise he'd probably have marshaled some attachments if he has attachments in hand. So what's going here? Is the dupe going? Probably Devon, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this deck, I know this deck has heir to the Iron Throne as well. And this deck, James' deck, has Barring the Gates, which can mess with the plot, and that's pretty big. I think you can't trade this brand, for example, for one of the big ones, Rob, or something like that, but you have to time it correctly, because now, does he go for Time for Wolves? I think maybe.
Yeah, Bran actually. So there's no Duhari stat here, so going big with the characters, there's no penalty for that. And Bran is virtually useless. He can cancel privileged position, but privileged position itself cannot cancel
Yeah,
much.
it's a bit useless as well, right? I think best it can do is when Northern Armories are there, or maybe a King's Road. It doesn't have any text that says non-limited, right?
Yes, correct. Okay, so which one do you keep Nelt? Or if you're going to play Murgulis, then you keep Dicey Nelt, but
Well,
somehow.
I think it's dangerous, because if you're Stark, then in Stark plays Morgulis as well and kills the Lena. I don't know, but I think you're alright.
Well, if it's double Morgulis, then Baratheon has a huge advantage in economy. Seized with some gold to bestow it. Okay.
I don't think it's the worst, right? So, Kings would go, but pretty alright on defending power, and now you lock maybe Eddard. Yeah. I think as long as Daisy doesn't grow too big, you can just lock Eddard because he's so fast.
Yeah, she can't really grow that big because of Wildfire at some point as well in the deck.
So, okay. We have Brand the Builder into Time for Wars.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's going to take Grey Wind, which is a completely broken crap Stark cheat card that they have on demand. It ruins so many games, but okay, hopefully it's not enough to win this one.
Well, I think it ruins the game, but it does cancel Robert's ability. But you can't use it for anything else. You have to save it for Robert.
I mean, it's limit once per phase, so it can return
Yeah, but then
Summer
you
to
have
hand.
to take it. But then you have to take it back to hand, and then have to replay the 3-cost one every time. It's a bit hard for this deck if that's gonna be all the economy it has.
Yeah, but if it's only Robert, then you keep Summer in the standing phase for that cancel. If you have to cancel more than one trigger, now potentially Meister Crescent has an annoying ability that could hurt Stark. I don't know what else you would cancel potentially.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, this guy. So that's a bit annoying because his first player has Intimidate now, and
Yeah, again, he's not going to stand though because of Delena. And that spends the gold, right? There's nothing else.
yeah, although the ability is still, I mean, without the ability still, the Intimidate is pretty strong, I think. Well, for 0 gold, I think you have Green Dreams and Sweet Sleep. Which I guess you can use Sweet Sleep if you have Traitor to the Crown, but if Traitor to the Crown goes on Daisy, you also lock the Dire Rules. Oh, well, never mind, he just plays Sweet Sleep.
Okay, he's gonna gain
Okay,
one gold, so maybe that could be. Oh, it's there for recon. Well, he can cancel a Brand the Builder trigger, and now if it's during power, that works as well because Summer Hall has that seized for another round.
Mm-hmm.
That's annoying. Can we have a Crescent? Get rid of the. Actually, now there's Grey Wind.
But if Graven takes Summer back, then he can't cancel Robert without taking himself to hand, then you have World Secon. I think next round it's probably gonna be Heir to the Iron Throne, and you have to play Baring from Baratheon. His stun is coming.
Ooh.
Oh, that's really good, I think.
Okay, so James has the strength now to just play this game without looking ahead to resets.
Yeah, I think so too. Now he can even defend power military pretty easily.
And he has renown on 3 characters with the Stormland's Fiefdom in play.
Yeah.
But yeah, the host is going at some point, so the host has no dupes. There's only
But
one
the
in the
host
deck.
is going if they play Morgulis, but there's no reason for Baratheon to play it now, and I don't think Stark realistically is in a good position to play it with Daisy here alone.
And what happens with Robert's ability now? Because let's assume it's not cancelled. You either lock your own host or you lock all the little guys, which includes Delena and Fickle Bannerman.
Oh, although actually, Daisy has stealth, so I guess he can defend military. He has to. He's gonna have to take something for claim, but I think you can oppose, so the army can get nailed. Then you do challenges back.
Yeah, 2 challenges and only 1 recon, so should get 1 trigger anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also recon is probably a claim so character as well. Maybe you could go for Bran now. I would try to defend to not get army nailed, but I guess. Is there a big difference if you attack with army or with this one?
Should intimidate really the host now, because Greyjohn and Eddard are too tempting, right, to leave Ned with Robert if we assume no cancel. Yeah. But now surely 2 challenges. And Bran can't initiate the challenge to just give another Brand Builder trigger. So here we go, it's 4-0, but it's about to swing in Baratheon's favor.
Yeah, and if he now chooses to cancel with recon, he stays with very small board. I guess he's thinking he should cancel, doesn't do it.
Well, that's the one basically the one he needed, right? The Storm's End.
Yeah, but there is Smith as well. That's a bit annoying. Yeah, so I think he didn't cancel, so he's probably going to play air next round, I think.
Well, recon has been taken for claim now.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying he could have cancelled with recon, killed Bran, but yeah, doesn't work. But now probably he wants to save Bran for air. That's my thinking, I guess. I think the one card that you want besides Rav is Mage Mormont. She really draws a lot of cards. It's very, very helpful there.
It's going to be 6-3, and Storm's Fiefdom saves the power. It can also be used in a future round to take power from Eddard or Daisy onto the faction card to steal, because now Starkin is on 0. Okay, so who is going to... Summer goes back to hand, of course, as we suspected. Who is going to get panicky about the resets? I think at the moment Baratheon is competing on the board state just fine, so, and Storm's End to come. So I don't think it's going to be Baratheon.
I don't know why anyone would play reset now. I'm thinking barring the gates into air would be what happens now. Because the other one for Stark, I guess, is the Smith. Or even their own barring the gates, it's a dead plot anyway. But yeah, I would say maybe try to get rid of it. I mean, you would play air here naturally, but maybe he goes for Smith.
Into Parley.
Yeah, I would have tried barring, so I guess James played smarter than me here. And he can now stop military challenge, right? Because I don't think the intrigue is now that problematic.
Well, does he want to, though, is the question. Or does he want both players to be able to do military here?
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I think the problem is that Stark has stealth on military. And he won the initiative, so I think it depends if he goes first. I think Stark has to go first now because there's Intimidate and Stealth, so... Doesn't go first. Okay. Let's see then.
Now you have to start with kneeling the econ to avoid the smith triggers, although it's only 2 attachments. More will get played.
No, there's 3. There's cyst still. Oh, but that's going away, right? Before marshalling.
Yeah,
okay.
is this going? Well, it doesn't use Great Hall.
Well, yeah, the problem is Great Hall is it's not always useful, right?
Yeah. Might actually show some restraint here and not marshal too much, we'll see. Because 4 plots left and 2 of those are Morghulis and Wildfire Assault. I can't imagine he would outrush Johan here and just win, get to 15 before having to play them.
Oh, and Eldon's pretty good against the Smith, actually.
But keeps the Storm's End in hand. Of course, there's no intrigue icon and no military can be initiated.
Yeah, and if there is intrigue icon, there is 50-50 chance I think it's Caitlyn that doesn't work anyway, so yeah.
But here comes a dupe, that's annoying. Here's where playing Morghulis early then gives you some chance that the opponent draws dead cards. But yeah.
Yeah, I think now there's a more realistic that Stark would want to try Morghulis, but still, yeah, I don't know. I think the problem here is you can't find dupe for Eldon. Here's Caitlyn as well.
So there is an intrigue icon and it's going to do work here.
Yeah, but there's really nothing that could be done about that, even if you had Storm's End.
Well, not bad characters now for Stark, so I guess Wildfire Assault. If he marshals something else, like an Arya for 3, no. Summer comes back, might try to cancel Eldon or something. Okay, so he's going to put the gold onto the faction card so that he can take it. That makes sense.
Yeah, and now I think when with Caitlyn in play, there's also a consideration. He has 1 copy of Brothers' Robes. I think that can only go on Caitlyn.
Yes.
But that's also can be annoying for Baratheon. It's 1 copy and yeah.
Okay, so I guess the important thing is try not to lose power. And here's the Summer Hall.
And you can try to stand it, or you can try to stand Stormlands Fifth. I'm not sure which one you prefer. Think with 2 Kingswoods and this army, you can be fairly certain that you're gonna win, that you're gonna be able to defend power, right?
Well, it's possible there's stealth as well. But yeah, it's actually okay. So there's
okay, so it does have Brothers' Robe, so that.
Well, now if you kill her, it's a dead card because it can't go on anyone else. 8 strength altogether on the power challenge and 1 stealth. So if James passes, there's no real way to push the power challenge through. Of course, he'd like to do some challenges because he just puts power on the faction card with.
Yeah, I mean, he can use Gravin to cancel Eldon, but then loses Summer for the Robert trigger.
Yeah.
I think that's an alright trade-off. But I would have now probably tried to stand Stormend's Fiefdom anyway, because Caitlyn's just gonna blank it. Although Caitlyn can also blank one of the King's Woods, that would help a bit. So if we assume that she blanks King's Woods, that's -2 on everyone. It's 5.
Yeah, they can get up to 12. It's not enough to... I guess Greyjohn can try to intimidate first, but then you lose him for the power.
No,
It's not happening.
No, it's not happening because of Parley.
Oh, of course, yeah, I can't even do that. So, intrigue with Caitlyn, and then that's...
Just do unopposed intrigue, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess the fiefdom has been kind of wasted doing that. James
Yeah, I guess so, but
might trigger a Kingsgate possibly here. 3 cards in hand, plenty of econ. Although can't do it now, too late. Caitlyn is in the challenge. Yeah, blanks one, but after the challenge, the other one can trigger for sure. Not Storm's End. Shirin. Yeah, I'd like to get her in play
right as well.
before the resets go through. Too bad. And I think Johan will pass and should be dominance to James, right?
Yeah, probably. Reliably. Now you keep Caitlyn nailed unless he cancels with Gravewind. Do you even bother casting this now?
Well, it's one character. It depends if he's going to consider any kind of reset here. Okay, so has to pay for Greywind, and now could you just play City Besieged and kneel the King's Road and the Hard Trigger maybe?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Although still Gravewind comes in with Shiber potentially.
Yeah, but I mean, 2 power on the faction card, and there's 3 renown in play, so...
I think it's funny he's discarding those last hard scouts for reserve every time.
That's already 12 power, right? If James... if there's no Morgulis on Stark side and City Besieged on the other side, it's already 12 just from that, and you can trigger the Storm's Fiefdom potentially to put more if you need it. Storm's End, remember, is still in hand. Or does he do something else first? I don't think he's going to play. Okay, so there's the City Besieged against another Smith. And happy to go second. That makes some sense. So anything that Johan does is just putting power on his faction card. Now Storm's End surely will be nailed as a priority here. Although there's 2 attachments and you're going to have to pay for the Greywind. Okay, no real reason for James to trigger anything, probably. So he's nailed this. I'm guessing he has privileged position, and if there's a King's Road marshaled...
Something happened to my internet or something. Let's see what I missed. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay.
Well, what's coming in? So 6 gold worth of stuff and Gravin costs you 3, you get the agenda trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And Brothers Robes that can actually blank storms in that way. So really the locations are not doing anything for James here this round. It's just the power gain that he's going to get, and there will be some. More characters.
Yeah, I think he's searching for Shibar maybe to get, character and the attachment.
That's obnoxious, disgusting Stark crap again, but okay.
I mean, Shibar is pretty useless as a character.
Yeah, but comes with the text of King's Road, basically. Yeah, does she come in and put in Gravind is the question.
Yeah, I think so.
Brothers Robes kneels. It doesn't need to kneel for its ability, so...
Wait, so what happened with Eldon?
Yeah,
Okay.
no reason to stand stuff now because the Smith can... There's more attachment, so he's going to do that in challenges to force something else really to be triggered. Whereas the Shiber is she coming? The question is, what happens now after Wildfire, really? So Johan has still barring the gates, air, and his own Morgulis.
Yeah.
Actually, the econ is not that amazing with those plots, so Wildfire will hurt, but then the 3 characters that survive are pretty decent, so 3 on 3. Either Daisy and, let's say, Caitlyn against Robert, the army, and probably Delena will have to stay. Either gets stealth now as well with Greywind. I mean, if that's enough to push the power challenge through, that is damaging, but I honestly don't think it is. You'd need to intimidate first to have any chance, but let's see what comes in for James. Bad econ here, so not that much probably. Could put in Storm's End, that gets nailed. Yeah. It's the last round where it gets nailed though. Then you have to use Brothers Robes, I guess, and
yeah,
Caitlyn.
I guess Brothers Robes.
Useful
Very nice
ability. That's some easy claim soak because currently nothing really can die.
Yeah, and there's no crown in this one, right?
No.
Yep.
Okay. So, and the last card surely is privileged position now.
Well, that can't do anything anyway, I think.
Yes, the port, okay.
Sure, why not, right? One traitor would be nice, right? Put it on Eddard.
So now he can... There's no more attachments, is there? Yeah, now he can trigger Eldon in theory and force Summer to get out of play before challenges.
You can, yes. But theoretically, Green Dreams can still come in. Or is it Green Dreams, something like that?
Doesn't actually bother with Standing Storm's End, just does Summer Hall. Is anything realistically going to leave play during the power challenge? I don't know. Because Storm's End standing, of course, okay, it's going to get blanked, so no use talking about it too much. But if it
So
was there,
it gets blanked.
then you could do double
Yeah,
power, and that's really damaging for a Stark this round potentially.
I think if it gets blanked, if it gets blanked, then one Kingswood can get blanked. Then I don't think there's any realistic chances for winning power.
No. And even if he does at this point, I mean, it would require a lot of the board to kneel. Then James forgets about the Kingswoods, right? And just does power back. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty decent, to be fair. So, does Caitlyn get rid of that privileged position, or do you want her for other stuff? Because she has Summer, she can be put into the military challenge, and she can be put into the power challenge if you think you can win it without triggers, but I don't think so.
So with one Kingswood blanked, that would be -2. So 2 of the characters can't even participate. And 4 plus 5 is 9, 14. Can get to 16.
With one stealth.
Yes.
Well, that's
Yeah, I don't think you can.
17 on defense in theory, then.
Yeah, but you do a challenge back then with this army and get unopposed. Maybe just happy with that. Or even if Storm, I mean, if Summerhall is not blanked, then you can also just let it go and do challenges back, right?
Yeah. It is to claim, so okay, to claim military, let's say, is not going to hurt that much. She-Bear and Barrel and Scout can go at this point, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can try to get a big military challenge to get those added ability.
Yeah, and I think it would be tempting to just let it go, because you need power on the faction card. Remember, James plans to win the 2 claim power, have some renown from that to get somewhere above 10, and then he has Wildfire, and it doesn't matter whether characters get killed or not, because if he keeps Robert, the host, and Fickle Bannerman, for instance, then that's 3 renown. He can go first and just win the game that way.
Well, he actually can kill Robert, keep Robert without selecting him, because now he has the attachment, right?
Yeah, and if it's against Morghulis, okay, then it's Robert and Elena. That's not so great, but it is against Morghulis in that case, where you have claim and econ and the opponent does not.
Yeah, and there's a pretty weak Daisy.
And all the attachments go back to hand, really. Well, the 2 from Caitlyn go back to hand. 9 for military. You can put in Caitlyn as well if needed.
Well, but now if you intimidate the big army, what happens? You have
You can't win the power challenge. It would require quite a few defenders, but no. Yeah, doesn't bother. I didn't think he would. There's no claim race, no attachment that can cause problems that can come in for the gold that he has, so Bastard's going to get claimed, and the big army is... Well, depends. If he plans to play Morghulis, then maybe just get Robert, who can actually keep his power, although there's still a fiefdom there. Gets the army. Oh, actually with stealth. Can he do it with stealth? Well, if he puts Caitlyn into blank, Caitlyn can do it on the intrigue as well. Okay, so I guess he's going to take a moment to make this calculation. I think we might have lost Saraaa.
No, I'm back. Sorry,
Okay.
my internet's being weird. Or I guess Discord, I don't know.
Yeah, so with, let's say, stealthing Robert with Eddard, and let's assume everything is on -2. That's 9 without Caitlyn, and it's 11 with Caitlyn. So it's just about enough to win. But that's...
Although then...
Summerhall is not getting blanked in that scenario. One of the Kingswoods is.
Yeah.
And that means also she cannot do intrigue in that case. She has to be in the power challenge, otherwise it doesn't even work.
Yeah, but you do get the Eddard ability. But yeah, then you get 2 unopposed challenges back with Renown as well.
And if he passes here, looks like he has the strength to defend, but when the host ability comes into effect, that will turn around, and then he does not, in fact. So what's she going to blank is the question. Does she want the Kingswoods gone or not? I don't think you can even do it, right? Because if you blank Summerhall, yeah, then it's not getting... it's the power challenge not going through now. There was a privileged position, as we suspected. Would have been nice if Johan was forced into a reset to get the King's Road. More cards drawn, probably more useful than the privileged position was. And now if he passes, and I guess the 2-claim military isn't happening, then James will probably just be happy with the power, which would get him up to 11.
On the defense he has 6 plus 5. I guess that's enough to win from Baratheon.
Yeah, you can attack with everyone except Eldon, I guess. That should already do it. Just make sure you get the renounce in. Two claims should be up to 9 and renown should be up to 11. Then if you play Wildfire, you'd need 3 renown to just win, which he does have, but against Morghulis he would not have them. Honestly, seems like Morghulis is not winning the game here for Johan. Seems like it's a losing plot, really. So I guess just one is defending this now.
With... Oh, but alright, you're canceling Robert anyway, so that's irrelevant.
Is there another cancel? Oh, you mean in the standing phase? Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he didn't... Did he cancel something in...
Yeah, he cancelled... he cancelled Eldon at the end of marshalling.
No? Cancel it.
Oh, he did not. He allowed him to trigger. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So no cancels at all.
Not yet. Okay, now better use the fiefdom to save the power. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, any reason to do military? I assume Robert will get cancelled, so yeah. You could tie dominance with that, I guess, if Dicey defended. Okay, so what does Robert do? Keep locations net or something? He's getting cancelled. You don't even need to declare.
I don't know, does he want to keep locations nerd?
He might. I don't know, because after Wildfire, if the King's Road and Heartry Grow are gone, then Johan's not marshalling much new stuff, really.
Then you can do
I
2
think
power challenges.
he'd need to cancel Robert, whatever. If James can click on Robert, then if he doesn't get cancelled, can choose locations, I think.
Oh, so you cancel before you, like the opponent cancels before you choose what you're doing, right?
Yes. There is a choose in the text of Robert, but it's not choosing targets, it just means select one of the options. And that's already part of the effect, so if you're resolving the effect, then the cancel window is long gone. So what do we have left for Johan? We have Air, Baring, and Morgulis. Ooh,
Interesting.
he's actually now kept his own renown body net.
Well, you have 2 other renowns, and you can do 2 power changes with Eldon, and really the one character that has stealth and survives is now Eddard. If you play Morgulis or you want to do Wildfire. He could even try Air. If he gets Air, finds Rob, and sacrifice Bran.
Ooh.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay, that's so ridiculously risky. Why do that? If James loses this, I don't know. I think we'll have to choke him out or something.
Why it's not?
He's played Morgulis. He could have gone first with 3 renown and won the game. Didn't seem like it was stoppable.
I mean, if he finds Arya, that's alright. He's gonna have Arya without a dupe.
Arya, Dicey, and
But you have,
Eddard.
yeah, I have Nelt, Eddard, and Arya really. I mean, Daisy gets on pretty low strength with that.
And now the huge strength advantage that Baratheon had is gone, right, with that host.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's also gone on the Stark side, right?
Yeah, but could have kept the locations net. Okay, maybe keeping Eddard net was still smarter. But now there's some gold here. 8 gold
I think if you
for
keep the
Johan.
locations nerf, then you also kill your economy, which is not great now. And also you kill Storm's End. That's another loop for Arya.
Ooh, there goes the privileged position. Nice. So that's Rob not coming in now. Or Mage Mormont or Wyman Manderly.
Yeah, even if he had Rob, he wouldn't be able to trigger before challenges.
Wolf King on Arya.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Well, kills Delena if nothing else comes in.
Or surely he has now something else. He drew some cards.
Still struggling to accept that James could have just played Wildfire and won with 3 renown. Even if Johan played Morgulis into that, that's fine, right? You had the exact situation you have now, except you get the claim. No, well, Eddard is. I don't know. You could. Eddard would be standing if my plan was. My plan was to near locations, obviously. So.
The thinking was Stark would play Morgulis as well, and then if Stark did play Morgulis into his Morgulis, now the situation would be Robert alone on the board.
Yeah. Well, Gates of the Moon will help a little bit, and here come the bastards.
Beautiful.
I mean, James is still doing alright. It's 2 Barings, then there's Whitefire for us and Morgulis for Johan. Managed to dupe Arya in the meantime.
And perfect time to get traitor.
No more Sweet Slip. And no more Brothers Rope, so that Storm's End is actually now active. And Seized is gone, so can't get rid of it. There's no claim, so I don't think this is the last round yet, but it's looking alright. Although no more Kingsgate, so now Morgulis kills everything except Robert, so.
Yeah, Robert and Arya stay. And Arya has then the Wolf King that doesn't do anything, and I don't know, is there one, are there 2 Aryas or 3 Aryas? 2 Aryas.
Yeah, 2 I think. You don't need to defend this one. Nothing can come in to mess up your plan because of Summerhall. It's beautiful when you get this position. Also, nothing really spent here for Johan. It was a non-killer anyway. And needs to pass if he doesn't want to give any unopposed away, I think. Doing a power. It's going to nail something. Oh, sorry, that's James doing a power. Yeah. And he's winning dominance with what's left.
Yeah, Hanno commented there's 19 characters between board and dead piles and stuff and 0 intrigue icons.
Card given away, of course, can't afford to give him any more power at this point. It's 13, would be 14 without it. Well, Robert's not getting killed, and if Wildfire is played, which I'm sure it will be, why not? You just keep all characters. Then James has initiative, whatever happens. Okay. Just in case Robert needs a cancel. He does, because he's keeping Eddard Nelt.
Cancel. That's when I was thinking he tries to he wants to find Rob and gets them to stand.
So Wildfire keeps everything in play. If Johan plays his own Morgulis, I think that's a dead sentence pretty much. Just gets traitor repositioned.
I don't know why he would really.
And James doesn't bother, so again, he's not winning initiative, but I'm sure the game was won, but okay, fair enough. Double barring. Yep.
Yeah, nobody's coming in.
Yep. And okay, James allowed to go first. Maybe there's a marriage pact going to be put on Robert.
Yeah, good.
What did he get?
Yeah, it's tennis. Seems like it's tennis. Yeah, and with the langweggerijn attachment as well.
No renown though, and no Lightbringer in this deck.
Well, I can't complain really, come on.
Okay, so whatever comes in now for Johan needs to come in duped. Or with a bodyguard. He spent the gold to be able to put Marriage Pact in. He can put in a Milk on Robert, that stops renown. Well, still 43 cards left, so maybe doesn't have it.
Mage play the draw isn't that great. But if you can get Mage, I think you can pretty much catch up to the normal sized decks.
Okay, I think he might attack here with most characters and force that Milk to come out, otherwise it's game over. Okay, it's actually 14 on defense, so if there's a strength boost, I think even a win on defense is possible.
Yeah, there could be Lady.
But then
But there's no Lady.
you
so.
would, the poor fellows would attack with Storm's End anyway, so.
Sure.
Okay.
I think this was a good matchup for us.
Yeah.
Went about as expected. The resets were working in our favor, right?
We definitely found the cards, and the nightmare scenario where Stark finds the cards as well didn't happen. It's less likely with 75 cards. It's a great agenda, don't get me wrong, but if against a reset deck, it will hurt you that you don't find dupes immediately. Although neither player really wanted to play reset until very late here. They were both kind of backing themselves and the characters they had. But yeah, James being able to stop military that one round, and then with his locations and traitor, yeah, just a better position all around.
There's no really good reset for Stark Valyrian still, this type of deck, because you can't play the Hyris. Morgulis can be problematic with the dupes, and then I don't think you have a good position with Mad King's Command either. So yeah, I mean, alright.
Yeah, so this was the first of the 3 games. Saraaa plays on Sunday.
Yes.
That will be probably the last, because Sunday afternoon or evening is the online event that I mentioned the other day that I would like to participate in, so we can't schedule anything at that point. And I might play second in that case against Jakob, so we need to win one of the other 2 to get through. Not sure. The matchups look quite playable, but not super in our favor, so that we would be able to relax here. It will be hard work, but hoping we can get one of the last 2.
Yeah, Mika says he's gonna win anyway, so.
Okay, so we'll leave it here. Thank you everyone for being with us, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.